Sometimes they are just pages full of errors from the very beginning. How to deal with it and how to create a still a very nice page. That's what this film is all about. Hi you guys, for all of you who don't know me, it's Asia Marquet here, Lemon Creation. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be working on the page which gave me a lot of troubles. Some of them you're gonna see, some of them you're not gonna see because they were tiny ones, but they still annoy me to really to my core. I started with the page which has a lot of seepage on the edges. Right now I'm showing you how I actually use my unmounted stamps. I either take the repositionable glue, glue dots, and like that I can, put it on the acrylic block. Or I also bought at some point this Tack'n peel. I think it's like a thing which you glue to your acrylic block, and you have a protective film, and you can place it like that every time you want to put unmounted stamp. You take off the foil, the protective foil, and just use the sticky part of the acrylic block, which to me is too sticky, maybe because I don't use it too much, and it's actually still quite new. And sometimes it annoys me a lot, even to remove the protective film, it annoys me a lot. And for this project, yes, also, it annoyed me a lot. I still end up using it because, I already took the film out of it, so, why not? And the stamp I'm using right now, it's a Creative Embellishment stamp, and I'm gonna give you a list of products in the description box below. And I basically rotate between two producers of stamps for this project. So it's Creative Embellishment stamps I'm using, the ones which are unmounted but gray. And you're gonna see in a while unmounted but red, that's the one. That's Viva Las Vegas stamps by Catron. And as you can see also, I was not super precise with my stamping. I mean, I do a grungy kind of stamp always, almost. So there is a place for mistakes. But for example, the circle stamp, which is in the middle, it didn't print very well. So it's hardly visible. And it was going on like that, all the time. The small things which were annoying like hell, but still, I said to myself, I'm just gonna continue because what else can I do? This thing I'm using right now, it's just the packaging from cookies. So I cut a piece of it, and it's actually stamping very nicely, and it's stamping two sides differently because it has the raised side is stamping differently as opposed to the other side, which has a different motif. And so I was continuing with this page just because this is a page from my butterfly art journal, and I basically cannot throw it out. So it's already made on the on the recto side, and I cannot do anything. I just had no option. I had to continue. And that's also the idea. If you don't know what to do, if you're stuck at some point, if your stamping doesn't work, just add more stamping, cover your small mistakes, and at the end they may not be really visible, especially if you do a kind of like a I can call it messy, but to me they are not messy projects. I love them. I love this crunchiness about them. But if you if you are stuck, if your very clean project doesn't work, try to do something messy. And now you can see me also kind of inking the edges. Well, not kind of inking the edges, but of course at one point I inked too much, and I got this kind of smudge from the ink on the page. Again, a mistake, but I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do it all around, so like that it looks like it's kind of on purpose. No, just have to go with the flow and just continue. These are my Infusions swatches. And so I'm choosing two of the infusions, Sunset Beach and, if I'm not mistaken, Violetta, just because I was looking at the side of my page here, which is visible, and the color I had, the seepage I had, it was kind of, you know, in between those two colors. I said to myself, okay, you know, it doesn't have to be a perfect match, but, you know, I'm gonna add those two colors, and probably either way they're gonna cover the seepage I had. And that's why also I did my stamping on the side, you know, to cover the seepage even more. And this is the way I'm applying my infusions. I spray a little bit of water and I sprinkle the powder, because they have a walnut stain in them. So, you know, I don't really dilute them with water beforehand on the side to later apply them to the page, because the more water you add, the more this walnut color is gonna be visible. So it's better to actually be very greedy with water. And if you see that, you know, there is this color which is changing into brown, you can always dab it with tissue paper, and it's not a problem, and it's actually quite nice, you know. It's very nice, the fact that there are those two colors in it, and I really like working with them. Also, if you don't spray too much water, you may get this powder which is kind of sticking to the surface, and it makes making it textured, and I love that. Magicals do that as well, but I think maybe infusions do that even more, and I really love this effect. And so I left it, you know. You can see a small kind of darkish stains. That's the powder which was not completely diluted. And then I dry it, of course, and I don't have worries about the page underneath, because it's already done and it's completely black, because that was a Halloween one. So, you know, I don't really bother about the seepage too much. On top of that, I think it's done with acrylics, yes, underneath, so it's not gonna really run. And that's the thing also, you know, I don't use often gesso or absorbent ground, because I like to work on the paper. I just like the texture of the paper. I like the stamping works better on the normal paper, you know, as opposed to gessoed paper, in my opinion anyway. So I leave it like that, and that's the risk I'm taking, because, you know, the seepage is always a very real possibility. And so now I'm taking again this kind of packaging I have, and Magical Leaf Adhesive. It's a glue for, you know, for this golden foil or golden flakes, and I added a little bit, and in the hindsight I should have added probably less. I thought that may not work, and actually it worked really well, as you can even see now. And so yes, I could have added a little bit less, but as I said, it's a page of things which don't really work as I would like to. There are days like that, you have to go with it. So now I just spray it quickly with water, so the glue doesn't, you know, doesn't dry, because I just was lazy enough to go to the bathroom and clean it. And I have to dry it a little. I don't think even this part of the film is, you know, it's sped up. So, you know, you dry it for like a few seconds. And now I am applying the golden flakes. I applied it with the tweezers, because, you know, they are flying all over the place. I tried my hands, and, you know, I said no, I'm giving up. So, well, I'm still using a little bit of my finger, but, you know, otherwise I'm applying it with tweezers. And normally I use also a brush, and you're gonna see that I was using a brush to kind of spread it, you know, so it kind of gets adhered to the page, as it should. But then I realized that there is way too much of this adherence, and so I realized that I had way too much glue, and I was actually afraid that nothing's gonna come out of it. But when I start removing everything with my finger, you know, then you can see actually the actual motif, the actual pattern, which is showing from underneath, and I could still get back a little bit of flakes, not too many, but, you know, still a little bit. And you have to be careful also not to, you know, rub too much, because at some places the golden shine was gone because I rubbed too much, you know, the flakes. And of course, to me, this is another mistake. The pattern is too visible. On the bottom is very much like a triangle, so I don't like it. And then a lot of stamping was gone. So I added a little bit of stamping once again, using the same stamps. I don't know if you've seen if you see the disproportion between you know, two sides of the page. One is too white and the other is too colorful. I didn't like that, and I'm gonna come back to that later, try to fix it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna show you my focal points. So a lot of you are asking me, where am I taking my photos from? I'm taking them usually from pixabay.com. And one of my friends, Natalie, she told me also there is pexel.com. It's basically, those are basically sites on internet where you can, from where you can actually download free for commercial use pictures. So I go there, I type in the search bar, for example, children or sweet or magic or whatever, and then, you know, you have the pictures. And I print them later. You have to download them. Click on it, download it. It's very straightforward. You don't have to even, you know, have an account or anything really. It's free of charge. And then I print them, and I print them on the matte photo paper, because the glossy photo paper is not good. It's actually giving a lot of reflexes when you are working. You know, when you are moving, doing videos. It's not very, you know, visible. Photos are hell to take. So, you know, I do that. And then when I have a moment when I'm, for example, watching something on the TV, I cut them, you know, either to the square size, or, you know, I'm cutting the children out of it, or and then I put it with my repositionable glue on the piece of cardboard paper. And like that, you know, I don't have to lift through a box of, you know, cutted things, but I have them, you know, and I see them, and I can take them, or try, or if it fits my page, then put it back again. So let's come back to my to my art journal page. And, you know, as I said, there was no coherence for me between the white part of the page and the color one, so I decided to add some white stenciling. For that I use cream paste from Stamperia, which is super cool because, you know, even with the paints which are not water resistant, like for example Magicals, or in this case Infusions, it doesn't change the color. So I put it through my stencil Latin, but of course to make things more complicated, I always started to, you know, by stenciling from the side, which you know, later was preventing me kind of to stencil a little bit more. So I had to bend my stencil a little, and, you know, and try to work so I don't remove the part I already done. As I said to you, I think it was really not my day. I did my best. As you can see, in case of 4, I just kind of moved the stencil too much, and I got a little bit of, you know, paste which went through, and it left the small, as you can see, small traces which I was trying to remove. But now I actually like, you know, the fact how it looks like. It's kind of matching the, you know, the negative space, the white space. And so this is one of my girls from the photos I had, and I decided to add her wings, and those wings are from Translucent Papers by Maremi Small Art, Marta Łapkowska. And I decided, because she's standing like, you know, not facing us directly, she's standing with her profile to us, so I bended the wings. Oh my goodness. I bend them in half, and then I glue them like that. So, you know, they are like 2 sets of wings, but they are, you know, only half of this kind of visible. And instead of adding foam tape, I added a piece of mixed media paper, you know, glue it like that to the girl, to the page, because it's just simply less thick than the foam tape. And as you can see, of course, in the light, those are the ones of the old pictures I printed out, and it's actually on the glossy paper and it's shining, and so it doesn't look good. That's why I'm telling you that it's better to use matte paper. And of course, I did my girl, I put my girl, and then I decided that I didn't do any splatter. And that should be the other way around. I should do splatter first. But fortunately, I covered the girl, you know, because sometimes when you do splatter and it splats, is that a word, guys? You know, on the page, you can actually waste your photo. And that would be all. I finished with my super messy words, and I think the page actually looks quite okay for a complete, you know, process disaster. I am so grateful for all your comments. Thank you for leaving them. Thank you for leaving the thumbs up. And of course, thank you so much for subscribing. It means a lot. I wish you all a beautiful day, a lot of creative mojo. And I'm gonna see you soon, I hope, in my next video. Bye bye.